So I want to talk about two-word ad campaign for a Fortune 50 company that launched this year. As the company has said in their PR around this launch, they said it's the most significant brand initiative in 10 years from this Fortune 50 company. You've all seen the ads if you've watched the Masters and Wimbledon, and there will be a heavy ad schedule coming up in 10 days in the U.S. Tennis Open. And the sponsor, this company has sponsored these events for over 30 years, and you probably know that I'm talking about IBM. We have a couple of IBM alums on our call here today. So the campaign is let's create, right? And my first reaction to this was, oh my God, this is derivative of what? It's derivative of Think Different from Apple in the 90s. But as I got into it and researched it and talked to actually some IBM alums and folks there currently, there's actually substance behind this. Now let's hear a little bit about what the Ogilvy, for instance, their longtime ad agency said. This new initiative, Let's Create, or that's capturing these two words, Let's Create is an open invitation to all the visionary and creative minds to, quote, unleash their imaginations, do the unimaginable, oh my gosh, and do it together. On the IBM Consulting site, they've got a sub-tagline there, let's accelerate together. This is a shift, right, in how consulting organizations work. It used to be, I'm God and you're not, and ta-da, and here's the answer. And no, it's now a cooperative co-creation world. As they say on the IBM site here, the business world is facing overwhelming complexity, and there's a humility here, right? To take it on, we all need fewer walls, wider doors, fewer silos, deeper partnerships, and then I love this, less, quote, I than we, right? So less I and I than we. And then finally they say, and here we go, for our curious and quirky, we bring curiosity and empathy to, IBM is talking about empathy, right? To every interaction, experience, and our expertise with technology. Obviously, they're a technology organization. So what is this? Is there substance behind all this, quote, hype, right? And it turns out there actually is. IBM has a program, it's a methodology, it's an approach to consulting called IBM Garage. And they've defined it as an end-to-end model for accelerating digital transformation across the enterprise, right? So again, it gets to this working together on this. And so I thought it would be fun to take a real-world example of how they've sort of manifested this in the work they do. And the one that I picked, it has a great level of interest and actually to my family, actually, because my son was recently recruited to be a pilot for Republic Airways. They fly the regional flights for Delta, American, and United. So how have they used this methodology to help the leading simulator company in the world, Flight Safety International, improve their offering? And so they've included AI in all that they do, and the AI allows them to feedback 4,000 variables in real time on this pilot performance in these simulators. By the way, obviously, my son was in these simulators for 6 weeks so recently, and I validated this is all true. And what's most interesting, though, and what I want to share with you is, so what, now you're awash in data. What do you do with this? And this is the curious and quirky challenge to our listeners. What they've done is they've used that data to identify 4 pilot personas. And those pilot personas are timid, reactive, risky, and aggressive. And of course, you sort of need all of those in some ways at different times, but you want to moderate those to move towards the center and not be on the extremes. So that's my take, my curious and quirky take. My challenge to the listeners, again, is how do you move beyond all the data that we're awash in these days and create something that's going to improve the human condition, as they have done with Flight Safety International?